Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play the Sexy Brutale. We left off having split off from Thanos and Aurum runes. But with a little luck, we will pick their trail back up now that we have all of the library at our disposal and beyond. Now last time we got the winding clock, or the winding key for the clock in that room that we started from. In the hallway, that was I think the library wing, but right away we start off with another winding key for this area called Heaven and Hell. And we just have to work our way down to the grandfather clock that's actually pretty close by to the other one. So we have two separate but pretty distinct areas of the mansion that have just opened up to us really recently. And there's a reason why we get access to both of those and why they're so relatively close together. But for the time being, what we actually want to do is set our save point to this clock in Heaven and Hell, the duality of which is pretty good since we are dealing with Thanos and Aurum runes in this mission. And reset the day from the beginning at noon. Whew. Struggle to get that one out there. But now we have a lot of interconnected rooms available to us. A lot of new stuff, a lot of new ground to cover. And we're hoping that we can actually pick up where we leave off. And we've seen these devices before. From the north. These statues with all of the card suits on them. We didn't really know what to do with those before. We just saw them littered occasionally throughout the mansion. But he seems to know what to do with it. So he's changing the symbol. Step 2 is breaking the arm off. Sentence the meddlers to a fiery death if they try trespassing. So this tells us which symbol is on the statue is important. And of course, in this central room that we just left, those same symbols appear in a row of 4. So that's probably connected. Now we're going to grab that card before we continue tailing. I think that was the 3 of hearts. Can't really see where he's going, but we can listen. Actually, he just went into the room north of us. So you saw the eyes glimmer a little bit in this painting, but we cannot look through them. It's a really cool, like spooky, mysterious mansion trope that you can, the paintings have eyes that follow you. Someone's spying through the painting on you. Unfortunately, we can't do that just yet. And we heard someone coming. Maybe not. Ah, there we go, from the north. It's all very suspicious. Here someone comes. The real person that we're looking for just happened to walk through the door. So we finally caught back up with Thanos. And they'll be strolling through this room at just about the same time that the 3 of Hearts exits whatever he was doing in that northeast room. And we know that Thanos and Aurum are on to what the servants are up to. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they're suspicious. They know something is off. And they're also not taking any of their shit. I love this exchange. And we know from the beginning of the game that gunshot was coming from the chapel. It was when Reginald Sixpence was shot by another servant. Now, if you'll kindly excuse me, I have to pretend I have more pressing matters to attend to. It's just a very passive-aggressive exchange. And we also know what that shattering glass sound was now. That more pressing matter is helping his friend dispose of Reginald's body. So he's going to be coming in here, gonna bail keeping an eye on him, though. Because it's rather difficult to also keep an eye on him and Thanos Gorecki, and we've been trailing him mostly. There's a small gap, but we know where he was during that gap. And Thanos is gonna come into this room as he goes upstairs, and there's another servant who just happened to leave from the top left. So we're gonna book it just to this north room. Aurum, I hope you're safe. We can keep an eye out and see if they have anything to say. The statue holds a deep secret. Lucas asked me to put secret mechanisms in place years ago. And as long as those mechanisms are still in place and you manage to reach the statues, then at 9:50, the way will open. That actually gives us a really, really useful clue. So everything needs to be lined up, probably green because, well, that's just obvious color coding. And that also gives us a timetable to work with. So not only do we need to save them by a certain time, we need to make sure that the mechanisms are in place and lined up correctly, squared away, by 9:50. Lucas has always been an eccentric, yes, and his parties have always been extraordinary. But something's very wrong here. Damn, the painting in the background is radical. Oh, I thought they were exiting. Nope. No one's even seen a glimpse of the marquee and the staff. Why does no one else see it? Why would we be kept from parts of the mansion? Yeah, the Three of Hearts did tell Thanos that this area was off limits. Listen to that. That means that Aurum in another room. If you sell 4 to spades and my monument's about to crack open, we can continue the search. That means Aurum has gone off to hit the levers on those statues in the other rooms. Some of the ones that we saw before as we were making our own way through the mansion. Are you about to come back in here? Might just trade places with her. Oh, damn it, there's a fly in here. I'm trusted. Shit. Last secrets to be kept. What secrets have you hidden from me, my boy? We're coming up on the deadline to save them. So at the very least, we'll see how they die. Even though the servant did give us a good hint at what's going to happen to trespassers if the symbols on the statue are not lined up correctly. And now they reconvene. They went their own separate ways. It looks like whatever's going to happen to them, it's going to happen to both of them at once. I know you're struggling to believe me, but this will work. Did you change all 4 statues? Really trying to drive that point home. The bar, the library, the piano room, the entrance hall. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's where we saw all of the statues before, I believe. This is very much not ideal. But it opened up anyway. Well, we saw one of the servants screw one of the symbols up and break the arm off so it couldn't be changed back, so it's quite odd that this opened up. This used to be part of the old furnace system. No, come on! It's all been disconnected, of course. Lucas had me create an entirely new and highly efficient heating network for the mansion. And it's supposed to be disconnected, and this is supposed to be a secret elevator. But instead, a fiery end. And this comes almost at the end of the day, the point where it reaches midnight and we're going to reset automatically anyway. But we still have a few things that we can at least check before it does that for us. Aurum smoldering corpse blocks the entrance to the elevator. The stench of burned flesh fills the air. Not much that we have left to do, so we'll just restart the day. But now we have some really important clues. The main thing that we need to go ahead and fill in the gap in our knowledge is what the Three of Hearts was doing in that northeast room. The room opposite the painting with the glimmering eyes. So that is going to be our very first stop on this loop. And on our way there, is someone... I think somebody just left through one of the doors. I'm not sure which one. There's a curtain here. A curtain on the wall where the painting would have been. So whereas we couldn't have spied through it before, we can now. There's also another thing that we know. The servant who broke the arm of the statue off came into this room with it, and he left this room without it. So we can infer that now that we can spy through the painting into this room. Uh-oh. He came through the south door. We're gonna have to go back into the room as he comes out into the hallway. We'll be able to see what he does with the handle on the statue and fix that, because that seems to be the fatal flaw in Thanos, Gregory, and Aurum Runes' plan to take the elevator down into the basement of the mansion. This is a really cool puzzle. This is one of my favorite ones. At least up to this point in the game. Open this up. Hide this here, and now we have the knowledge. Even if we have to reset, for some reason we shouldn't have to, but if we needed to reset from the beginning, we know exactly where he's going to be hiding this. We don't need to spy to find that out anymore. Who uses a dumbwaiter anymore? A dumb restaurant owner. Hardy har har har. And this is going to be the part where he strolls down. This will all need to be set to hearts. Fossil wouldn't be able to do anything about it now anyway, because the arm of the statue's missing. And it's set on the wrong symbol. And this is where he strolls back into the hall and meets up with Gregory. Also, I didn't catch the gender pronoun. I always assume that Gregory is female, but I might be wrong, so that's why I've been using they so much. Not sure. God, was that Mr. or Mrs. Gregory? Ah, well, I'll catch it in post. So, while we're waiting for this conversation to play out, again, I want to talk about the name of this game. So, the person who came up with the concept for this game was a journalist. So, he was thinking along the lines of, like, what would a catchy headline for this look like? He kind of looked at titling it like he would an article headline. He worked back through the themes of the story and decided to name it after the casino. And then come up with a catchy name for the casino after he settled on that idea. And so it came down to, like, what's a really eye-catching name for this casino and thus for the game. I settled on the Sexy Brutale, obviously. Sexy for the allure of gambling, and Brutale for the brutality of it. Boone, by the way, is a gambling addict himself who turned to the cloth. That's what the idea behind his robes are. And him blessing himself before he enters, like, a closet to hide. So now we can come back in here to the dumbwaiter and grab the hidden statue's arm. Then we will bring that back and reattach it to the statue with the misaligned... Oh yeah, that's for Lafcadio Boone, and this one's for Aurum and Thanos. We'll reattach it to the statue with the misaligned symbol. which we should be able to get to going down here. And we shouldn't be disturbed anymore. Nobody else comes in here, really. The arm's back on. Still have plenty of time. It's only 6 o'clock. You can hear the electric whir of the wheelchair in the room adjacent, but there's no fear that they're going to come in here. So that's great. You just hit the lever over and over again until you get the heart, or until it turns green if you weren't paying attention to which symbol it needs to be on. Now we are going to go through the rest of the rooms and make sure the rest of the statues are in their proper order. There was one of those statues that Aurum seemed a little bit unsure of whether or not he hit. So we're going to double check all of them just to make sure that they don't roast like chestnuts over an open fire again. I think this is the one who gave us a card earlier. Getting a sense of deja vu. I thought I had a card a moment ago. Now it's gone. What a mystery. Yeah, the cards are like one of the very few items that are actually... Whoa, hey, there's Thanos. Aurum runes. The cards are one of the very few items that persist. So good, he set this one up. Oh, I think he fucked that up. And again, we're gonna pass through the door at the same time. It's silly that you can do that, but convenient. Yeah, we have to make sure this one's lined up too. Hopefully this doesn't take too many turns. I think there's a limit on how many spins until it gets to the right one. Just because that kind of randomness could really screw you over on the timetable. Unless it was rigged in your favor just a little bit. Oh, we're hitching just a bit. Sometimes that happens as you go through doors or spy into them. And now we're having to remember where all of them are. We could check the map. I think I have a pretty good idea. There are only 2 left, so it shouldn't be too bad. And we know one of them is up here. I'm gonna light this again because we need to remember tell the ghost the password, which is Eleanor. And this is the room that we couldn't actually follow Aurum into. And we remember that he was talking about a statue in here. We kind of spied through, I think, right? Yeah, we spied through here. So we know that one of the statues is here. And again, this one is not on the correct setting, so we have to fix his mess. And that's it. He apparently nailed the other one. So all 4 are correct. That was a really, really good run. So, Aurum, that's done it. The statue symbols, I don't understand. This shouldn't be the correct combination, and yet they are. Oh yeah, they were changed. Thanos kind of had the right idea, he just didn't know that they were changed. Right. Whoops. Maybe I don't need this mask on anymore. Yeah, I rather feel a weight has been lifted. Ah, Boone. Lafcadio? Did you do something with the elevator? Yes, we will continue their search for Lucas. Wouldn't be terribly offended if the concern was coming from me. His old boy Laffy. Even though with all his crazy riches, he still has a soul that needs saving. Plus, the old fool owes me a drink and some staff members an apology. Well, they are rather all right now, and we have saved our 6th Well, more than that. There's a couple of more pairs. We've completed our 6th mission. And now Thanos' mask is ours. This one has a little bit of a more abstract power that's a little bit more vague in its usefulness. But let's check this one out. Genius architect Thanos Gorecki had an unparalleled knowledge of the Sexy Brutale. Visiting certain areas of the mansion will trigger memories and reveal secrets. Unlock new entries in the brochure by using the power when the prompt appears. He knows more about this place than any man except perhaps for Reggie. With the mask and Thanos' knowledge, so much will be revealed to you. Thanos' monument is your path forward, but he can also reveal so much about the mansion and the path you've already taken. You've opened a path downward, Spoon. I want to thank you. There's something so precious down there, in the dark. Come find me. And so now we are forced to take the elevator down. And the bottom of this elevator, you can see, also counts as a save point. So now we'll restart automatically from the beginning of the day at the bottom of the elevator shaft. Let's see, candles burn clean and bright, reflective of what could be a pure golden paneling on the floor. This is a work of art, nothing too interesting. And then we also had the prompt to use Thanos' mask. Knowledge of the place floods your mind. Now, this doesn't reveal too much to us in terms of, like, functional information, but we'll check the brochure next time to see exactly what we gleaned from our knowledge of this room, or Thanos' knowledge, rather. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.